Good morning, friends. Today we're going to talk about equations that have more than one correct answer. So for example, this question right here states, which equations have a product of 4? Choose all answers that are correct. So I'm noticing that both the word equations and the word answers have an S on it. That makes me think of plural, which makes me think that there's going to be more than one correct answer. So I can see here that there are 4 answer choices, and that means that I need to pick more than one correct answer. So I'm either going to have 2 or 3 correct answers, not 4 correct answers, because they're not all going to be correct, but there's going to be more than one that are correct. So I'm going to come down here to my paper, and I'm going to divide my paper up into 4 sections, just like we've been practicing. So I divided my paper into 4 sections, and I'm going to write down each one of the equations that I'm going to solve, because I need to solve all of the equations. So I'm going to write 4 times 1 equals, then I'm going to write 3 times 2 equals, 2 times 2 equals, and 5 times 1 equals. So remember, we're looking for equations that have products of 4. Well, I know 1 times any number is going to give me the product of this number right here. So 1 times 4 I know equals 4, or I can do one group of 4 objects and I know that equals 4. So that's the correct answer. I'm not going to stop there because remember, we know that we have to have more than one correct answer. So I'm going to move on to 2 times 3. So I'm going to draw 2 groups. I'm going to put 3 in each group, and I'm going to count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 times 3 has a product of 6. That's not the product we're looking for, so we know that one is incorrect. I'll move on to 2 times 2. Draw 2 circles. Put 2 tallies in each one. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 times 2 has a product of 4, so that's the correct answer. I might have 3 equations this time that have the correct answer, so I'm going to try 5 times 1. I know 1 times 5 is going to give me a product of 5, but to check it, I'll draw one group of 5 objects, and that has a product of 5, so that's an incorrect answer. So I have more than one correct answer, so that's perfect for this equation. So I'm looking for 4 times 1 and 2 times 2. So I'll come back up to my screen, and I'm looking for the answers that have 4 times 1 and 2 times 2. So I'm going to click on this one and this one. I don't have an eliminator tool, but if I was on PowerTest, I would eliminate those 2 answers because I know they're incorrect. I've chosen all the answers that are correct, so I'm great on that problem. Let's do one more together. This question says, which equations have a product of 12? Choose all correct answers. So this time I'm looking for an answer or product of 12, and I know I need to pick more than one correct answer. So I'm going to move back down to my paper, which I've already have divided up, into my next square, and I'm going to write down my equations. So this time I have 2 times 6, I have 3 times 4, I have 5 times 3, and 12 times 1. And now I need to solve each one of these equations, and I'm looking again for this time for a product of 12. So 2 times 6, I'm going to do 2 groups, and I'm going to put 6 tallies in each one. I'm going to count them up, 5, 10, 11, 12. That had a product of 12. That's what I'm looking for. The next one is 3 times 4, so I'm going to draw 3 groups. Put 4 objects or 4 tallies in each group. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's also a correct answer, so I'm going to check that. Remember, I'm not going to stop there because I'm looking for all the correct answers. So I'm going to do 3 times 5. Find my smaller number of 3. Put my larger number of 5 in each group. Count by 5s. 5, 10, 15. That one did not have a product of 12, so that one's incorrect. Last one, I'm going to solve it to the very end because this one might be correct too. I have 1 times 12. I know 1 times any number equals that same number, but I could check it by drawing one group and drawing 12 tallies inside, 5, 10, 11, 12, and 12 times 1 equals 12. So this time I have 1, 2, 3 correct answers. That's fine, because remember, I have to pick more than one, but I can't have them all correct, but I could have 3 correct answers. So if I move back up to my screen, I'm looking for those answers. 2 times 6, that was a correct answer. 3 times 4, that was a correct answer. 12 times 1, that was a correct answer. And I would eliminate 3 times 5 if I had that one on my screen. So what you're going to do next is you're going to get a piece of notebook paper. You're going to divide it up into 4 equal spots, just like we've practiced. So let me show you what I've done. I've gotten my piece of notebook paper. I divided it up into my 4 equal parts, and you're going to solve each one of the equations in your spots. Make sure that you've written down every single equation that's on the screen, solve them all, and see how many correct answers that you get.